Well, hello there, boys and girls, those who bounce in between. It's your friend Dankey here today with his first video of 2020. And I'm gonna get this year started with a bang by going over all of the white supremacist groups that I could find operating in Tennessee. This video is gonna be an overview of all of them, but what I'm looking at right now is actually a hate map published by the Anti-Defamation League. This shows all of the white supremacist hate crimes that occurred in the years 2018 and 2019. So it's 101, quite a bit. You can scroll through and you can see the different details, the different groups, what they were affiliated with, the dates, the locations. It was a tremendously helpful resource, but let's just get in breaking them down group by group, who their leader is, what they're about. So the first group we're going to talk about in today's video is Patriot Front. This group broke off from Vanguard America following the disastrous Unite the Right rally. Of course, we all know Unite the Right. It was the rally that was held in Charlottesville, Virginia, where the anti-fascist activist Heather Heyer was viciously mowed down by that dipshit chud James Alex Fields Jr. He killed her in cold blood in a terrorist action, and since then a lot of these white supremacist groups have had to rebrand because, you know, the bad publicity. So it's based in Texas, but it's active across Tennessee. You can look at this hate map, and it lists all of these different things. They're famous for just putting up flyers, dipshit flyers like this. It says "Better Dead Than Red," patriotfront.us, with an arrow through a communist symbol. Well, over my dead body, you dipshit chuds. So this is their leader, Thomas Ryan Rousseau, looking like a master race specimen right there, and that's their insignia, the fascist symbol with a bunch of stars around it. So our next group we're going to be talking about is Identity Evropa. I know it's Europa, but it's spelled like Evropa because I assume chuds just don't know how to fucking spell. Now it's called the American Identity Movement because, of course, you know, they had to rebrand. So these people planned the Unite the Right rally and had to rebrand themselves following the murder of Heather Heyer by that chud James Alex Fields Jr. It's based in Virginia. So this is their leader, Nathan Benjamin D'Amigo, famous for punching an Antifa woman in the face. So, you know, great human being right here. This is their insignia. The next group we're going to be talking about is Shieldwall Network. Now, these guys want to build a white ethno-state. They protested against Pride Fest in Knoxville, Tennessee, and they're based in Mountain View, Arkansas. I actually did a video on them in the past. You can check that out. This is their leader, Billy fucking Roper. He says Jews are the descendants of Satan, and the club's insignia is on their t-shirt. Obviously, this guy fancies himself a Spartan warrior, but he doesn't have the body of a Spartan, I can tell you that. Now this next group is the Church of Creativity, otherwise known as the Creativity Alliance. The Creativity movement promotes white supremacy and was formed in 1973 as the Church of the Creator and was later renamed to the World Church of the Creator. They distributed flyers at Wh1te Martin, school I used to go to. Their leader, Pontifex Maximus, that's what he calls himself, by the way, Pontifex Maximus, Matt Hale, is currently in prison for inspiring the killing of a federal judge in 2005. So that's him. That's a truly master race individual right there. This is their stupid insignia. This is a new group, the Legion of St.Ambrose, aka Christ the Gang. It was founded in 2019 by former members of the now defunct Traditionalist Workers' Party. It's based in Knoxville, Tennessee. This is their leader, Colton Cole Williams. You know, no comment about his appearance, just standard chud. The vandalization of the rock at UT Knoxville, memorializing the victims of the Tree of Life synagogue shooting, was vandalized and graffitied by this group. And this is their stupid insignia. Next, we got a bunch of KKK offshoots, alright? We've got the United Federation of Clans, we've got the American Christian Dixie Knights, we've got the United Clans of America, we've got the Alliance of American Clans, we've got the Teutonic Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. These are all offshoot KKK groups who attended a rally in Tazewell, Tennessee. Unlike white nationalist organizations whose meme wars and pressed khakis appeal to an impressionable younger generation, the Klan's online presence and public image remains rigid and unrefined, just like their brains, effectively diminishing their recruitment. Fighting between members on Facebook and Stormfront involves accusations of drug use, domestic violence, and disloyalty, and the number of groups continues to plummet. Klan groups have attempted to form alliances with other segments of the movement, such as the League of the South and the National Socialist movement, to retain some semblance of relevance. In particular, the Alliance of American Clans, formed in 2017 at a rally in Dixie County, Florida. It's active in 26 states and accepts members nationwide and from England, Germany, and Scotland. Can't have any of those froggy French bastards coming in, I guess. So here you have another group, the National Socialist Movement. It was founded in '94 and based out of Detroit. Famous for LARPing, basically. They dress up in black pseudo-SS uniforms and try to form coalitions with other white supremacist groups. This is their leader, Jeff Shope, and this is their insignia. Next up, we got the American Freedom Party, formerly called the American Third Position. This group is based in Las Vegas and was founded in 2009. Together with the Council of Conservative Citizens, they hosted the Nationalist Solutions Symposium at Montgomery Bell State Park in Burns, Tennessee. For more information about that, check out the whole long series I did about that, me trying to call the park rangers and get that fucking thing canceled to no avail. The group is now led by a coterie of prominent white nationalists, including corporate lawyer William D. Johnson, virulent anti-Semite Kevin McDonald, and white nationalist radio host James Edwards, who we'll be coming back to later. David Duke's former right-hand man, Jamie Kelso, helps with organizing. The party has big plans to run candidates nationwide. So that's Jamie Kelso, that's Tomislav Sunik, that's William Daniel Johnson, and that is James Edwards. We'll be talking about him later, and this is their insignia. Next up, we got the Council of Conservative Citizens, a modern reincarnation of the old white citizens' councils who battled school desegregation in the 50s and 60s. It was formed in 1985 and based in St. Louis. These guys helped co-host the Nationalist Solutions Symposium in Burns, Tennessee. This is their leader, Gordon Baum. He died in 2015. Rest in peace, you Nazi scum. If I find your grave, I'll go piss on it. That's their stupid little logo. Next up, we got AMREN, or American Renaissance. It's founded by Jared Taylor in 1990. The New Century Foundation is a self-styled think tank that promotes pseudo-scientific studies and research that purports show the inferiority of blacks to whites. Although the highfalutin language that avoids open racial slurs and attempts to portray itself as serious scholarship is best known for its American Renaissance magazine and website, which regularly feature proponents of eugenics and blatant anti-black racists. The foundation also sponsors American Renaissance conferences every other year where racist intellectuals rub shoulders with Klansmen, neo-Nazis, and other white supremacists. They held their annual conference at Montgomery Bell State Park in Burns, Tennessee. And in case I haven't talked about this enough, Montgomery's Bell State Park in Burns, Tennessee, whoever is in charge of that fucking park is obviously a white supremacist, because they have no fucking qualms with letting all of these white supremacist groups have their fucking conferences and rallies in that fucking park. So that's their leader, Jared Taylor, and this is their insignia. Next up, we got the Waffen Division. Now, these guys are fucking crazy. A terroristic Nazi organization that formed out of Iron March, an influential fascist forum that went offline in 2017. Founded in 2015 and based in Texas, a report by ProPublica linking a member of the organization to the death of Blaise Bernstein, a gay Jewish college student, in January 2018, noted that the group has around 80 members, including members who joined after the deadly Unite the Right rally. Members have been arrested for making bombs, stockpiling weapons, and planning terrorist attacks. This is their leader, James Mason, and that's their insignia. Next up, we got League of the South. It was originally founded in 1994 by a group that included many Southern University professors. Over the years, the group lost its academic luster as it became more explicitly racist. The League denounces the federal government and northern and coastal states as part of a materialist and anti-religious society they call the Empire. What is this, fucking Star Wars? In recent years, it has increasingly embraced violence, criticized perceived Jewish power, and warned black people that they would be defeated in a future race war. A neo-Confederate Christian extremist group based in Kalon, Alabama. They held a flash demonstration at the county courthouse and anti-Semitic book burning in Newport, Tennessee. This is their leader, Michael Hill, and this is their insignia. For more information about this, you can actually check out my video I did about Pat Hines. He's either the Northern or Southern Carolinian chairman of the League of the South. The dude definitely is prime master race material. He looks like a piece of chewing gum that is stuck on the side of a hot road. Not good, folks. Next up, we got Wh1te Nation. Wotan's Volk, in English, Odin's Folk, is a form of white nationalist neo-Volkish modern paganism which was founded in the early 90s by Ron McVan, Katja Lane, and David Lane. While Lane was serving a 190-year prison sentence for his actions in connection with the white separatist revolutionary domestic terrorist organization The Order, of which he was a member. After the founding of 14 Word Press by David Lane and his wife Katja to disseminate her husband's writings, Ron McVan joined the press in '95 and founded Temple of Wotan, co-writing a book by that name. 14 Word Press, Wotan's Volk, proceeded to publish several books for the practice of Wotanism before becoming defunct in the early 2000s. So this is their leader, Ron McVan. That's their insignia. Next up, we got Vanguard America. Originally VA, then called American Vanguard, was firmly in the alt-right hemisphere and focused on white identity. Over time, however, VA has increasingly embraced a neo-Nazi ideology. In one iteration of their manifesto, published in February 2017, the VA explained that America was built on the foundation of white European culture and that the glory of the Aryan nation must be recaptured. The VA has also warned against the influence of the international Jew, tweeting in July 2017, "Those behind the subversive elements eroding our culture often have something in common. Jewish influence is prevalent, invasive, dangerous." This theme is echoed in their 2018 manifesto, which states that Islam, Judaism, and all other non-European or foreign religions should not have the freedom to practice in the United States. In 2017, VA broadened their ties to the neo-Nazi movement when they participated in white supremacist rallies in Pikeville, Kentucky, and Shelbyville, Tennessee. These events were organized by the Nationalist Front, an umbrella organization of neo-Nazis, traditional white supremacists, and racist skinheads. Vanguard America became a member of the Nationalist Front following the April rally. They hosted a White Lives Matter rally in Shelbyville, Tennessee. So this is their leader, Commander Dylan Ulysses Hopper, a USMC recruiter. He calls himself Commander. I don't call him Commander. That's their insignia. So this is the Traditionalist Workers' Party. It's now defunct, but I thought I would still, give a little info about this group. Founded in 2015, the Traditionalist Workers' Party is a neo-Nazi group that advocates for racially pure nations. Let me zoom in a little bit. A little bit too much. Too much. That's too much. The Traditionalist Workers' Party is a neo-Nazi group that advocates for racially pure nations and communities and blames Jews for many of the world's problems, even as it claims to oppose racism, saying every race deserves its own lands and culture. The group is intimately allied with neo-Nazi and other hardline racist organizations that espouse unvarnished white supremacist views. They are Christian, of course. They're Christian extremists and identitarians. Founded by Matthew Heimbach and Matt Parrott, the group is now defunct after Heimbach assaulted Parrott and slept with his wife, who happened to be Heimbach's mother-in-law. Keeping it classy, you fucking chuds. So this is their leader, Chipmunk Boy, aka Matthew Heimbach, famous for sleeping with his mother-in-law, wife of the co-founder, Matt Parrott. This is Matt Parrott, famous for being married to a lady who actually had sex with Chipmunk Boy. And that's their insignia. Next up, we got Act for America. So this is Bridget Tudor, better known as Bridget Gabriel. She founded the Act for America in 2007, at a time when the anti-Muslim movement was beginning to take shape in the United States, while claiming an unlikely 750,000 members and more than 1,000 chapters. The group has undoubtedly grown to become the largest anti-Muslim group in America. ACT also ran an online database allegedly for law enforcement called the Thin Blue Line. This McCarthyite project lists the names and addresses of prominent Muslim American leaders and Muslim Student Association chapters alongside individuals who have been arrested on terrorism charges, referring to the MSAs as radical organizations and the individuals as persons of interest. In February 2017, shortly after Wired published an expose titled, "This Hate Group is Teaching Cops to Track Muslims," the Thin Blue Line was taken down. So this is their leader, Bridget Gabriel. That's their insignia. Next up, we got American Guard. The American Guard formed in Indiana in 2016 and officially went national in February 2017 with the stated goal of voluntary community protection, activism, and service based around the ideals of American constitutional nationalism and the preservation of Western culture. The group would, it claimed, encourage Americans of any race, class, or faith to participate with us in these beliefs. Even a cursory examination of the American Guard, however, suggests that its deliberately innocuous self-description may not be accurate. The group's logo, for example, prominently displays two crossed meat cleavers, while members frequently use the images of actor Daniel Day-Lewis in his role as Bill the Butcher in the movie Gangs of New York. Bill the Butcher was a fictionalized version of William Poole, leader of the Bowery Boys, a violent street gang in New York City infamous for its attacks on immigrants. And like the Bowery Boys, whom they apparently admire, the American Guard has a background with connections to anti-immigrant extremism, hatred, and violence. Indeed, before the American Guard was the American Guard, it was actually the Indiana chapter of a group called Soldiers of Odin USA, a branch of extreme anti-immigrant and anti-refugee group that originated in Finland in 2015 and has spread to many other countries. The Soldiers of Odin conduct vigilante patrols to protect citizens from the obstinable depredations of refugees. The Indiana Soldiers of Odin conducted several such patrols in 2016. As a recent ADL report has shown, many Soldiers of Odin USA members are white supremacist or anti-government extremist. The man who started the Indiana Soldiers of Odin, who later converted it into the American Guard, is Brian James, a longtime Indiana white supremacist who was one of the founders of the Vinlanders Social Club, a hardcore racist skinhead gang that has had a high association with violence. In fact, members or associates of the Vinlanders Social Club have been responsible for at least 9 murders, as well as many other crimes. Another Vinlanders Social Club founder, Adrian Apodaca, was recently arrested in Florida on federal drug, robbery, and weapons charges, as well as charges relating to an alleged murder for hire plot. These are great upstanding patriots, ladies and gentlemen. This is their leader, Brian James, hefty boy, chunky boy, and that's their insignia. Come and take it. I think I will, bitch. So these are the Confederate Hammerskins. The Hammerskins, also known as Hammerskin Nation, are a white supremacist group formed in 1988 in Dallas, Texas. Their primary focus is the production and promotion of white power rock music, and many white power bands have been affiliated with the group. The Hammerskins were affiliated with the record label 9% Productions. The Hammerskin host several annual concerts, including Hammerfest, an annual event in both the United States and Europe in honor of the deceased Hammerskin Joe Rowan, the lead singer of the band Nordic Thunder. It was one of the most prominent American white power skinhead groups. The ADL describes them as the United States' best organized neo-Nazi skinhead group, with the Hammerskin Nation website boasting 6 chapters in the US and chapters existing in Canada, various European countries, New Zealand, and Australia. The Hammerskins also have supporter chapters known as Crew 38 in most of these countries. Many of its members have been convicted of harassment, assault, and even murder. On August 5, 2012, Hammerskin Wade Michael Page was shot by police and died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head after he killed 6 people in a Sikh temple in Oak Creek, Wisconsin. This is their leader, Jimmy Miller, behind bars. That's their insignia. They stole it from Pink Floyd. So fuck these guys doubly for ruining Pink Floyd for me. Next up, we got the Daily Stormer. The Daily Stormer is an American far-right neo-Nazi white supremacist and Holocaust denial commentary and message board website that advocates for the genocide of Jews. It considers itself part of the alt-right movement. Its editor, Andrew Anglin, founded it on July 4th, 2013 as a faster-paced replacement for his previous website, Total Fascism. So this is their leader, Andrew Anglin, with those sunken fucking chud eyes. That's their insignia. Next up, we got Identity Dixie. Identity Dixie, a neo-Confederate propaganda group, was instrumental in organizing the deadly Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. Jason Kessler, who eventually joined Identity Dixie, secured the permit for that failed August 12, 2017 event. The rally was initiated to protest the removal of the statue of Confederate Commander Robert E. Lee. The group's growth is even more notable considering the tight controls for membership, a power struggle with its parent organization, The Right Stuff, and bad press following the bloody and violent protest at Unite the Right. Identity Dixie goes to great lengths to hide its members' identities and avoid identification by anti-fascist, and to prevent suspensions and bans infrequently doled out by Facebook for terms of service violations. Still, the identities of the group's leaders, some of their members, and social media have emerged. Here's a look at the group's leadership. So we have Brett Kalon Lynn, 40, aka Musonius Rufus. What is this? A fucking shitty Harry Potter fan fiction or something? And John Calhoun, a Marine veteran, once again, military guy from Cookeville, Tennessee. Tennessee's county's commission meetings show Lynn was named as a part-time Putnam County Judicial Commissioner in 2015. So we got chuds in our government. What have I been saying on this channel for a long time? We have fucking chuds in our government here in Tennessee. It's a white supremacist state controlled by white supremacists. A 2013 photograph of Lynn in the Cookeville Herald-Citizen listed his occupation as a teacher. He's one of the main hosts of Rebel Yell, ID's flagship podcast and primary recruiting organ. So how'd you like to have a teacher that's also a fucking white supremacist neo-Nazi chud? We got Eric Christopher Field, aka Minkins Ghost, and Will McLean of Glen Allen, Virginia. Field is an Army veteran whose Facebook and LinkedIn pages tout a degree of strategic foresight from Regent University. Field is also a Rebel Yell host. We got Russell Berry, aka Full War Skipwith, and Fulton Skipworth of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He graduated in 2015 with a degree from Louisiana State University's College of Humanities and Social Sciences. Berry joined Identity Dixie after he was interviewed on Rebel Yell about his involvement with the far-right Facebook group. He has since risen through the ranks of Identity Dixie's Knights of the Golden Circle, Identity Dixie's Chief Leadership Circle. Alright, and I'm the leader of a political organization myself, but we don't call ourselves the fucking Knights of the Golden Circle. What kind of a stupid fucking cringy name is that? Jesus Christ, man. Next we got Michael Cushman, aka Michael O'Neill of Aiken, South Carolina. He was a dues-paying member of the Neo-Nazi National Alliance and former League of the South state chairman. Cushman is also a member of the Knights of the Golden Circle. Lucas Gordon, aka Silas Reynolds, and John Brigham of Ruther Glen, Virginia. Gordon maintains IdentityDixie.com and oversees the group's various social media profiles. He helped organize the group's second annual conference, the Asheville Forum. Then we got Tyler Thompson and Patrick Bishop, who do not use aliases, from Orlando, Florida. The two 25-year-olds host Identity Dixie's Good Morning Wh1te podcast. They are members of the Silver Circle and administer a Florida group auxiliary Facebook page. We got Philip Lovelady, aka Bedford Lee Dabney, of New Braunfels, Texas. He manages Bluebonnet Patriots, the Identity Dixie Texas's chapter Facebook outreach page. Next we got Michael Mott, aka John Wang of Hernando, Mississippi. Mott recently began planning the group's third conference. We got Brandel Thomas Payne, aka Tommy Payne of Germantown, North Carolina. In addition to belonging to Identity Dixie, he's an officer in the Stokes County Militia, a paramilitary anti-government group. Then we got William H. Coombs, aka Hans Johansson of Memphis, Tennessee. He is a former member of the Neo-Confederate League of the South, which is coordinated with Identity Dixie in planning the Unite the Right rally. If I ever see him, I'll try to fart on him or something. So this is one of their leaders, Brett Kalon Lynn, aka Musonius Rufus. Definitely a Slytherin. That's their insignia. Next up, we got the National Alliance. The National Alliance was for decades the most dangerous and best organized neo-Nazi formation in America. Explicitly genocidal in its ideology, National Alliance materials call for the eradication of the Jews and other races and the creation of an all-white homeland. It was founded by William Pierce in 1970. The group produced assassins, bombers, and bank robbers, among other things. Pierce's novel, The Turner Diaries, was the inspiration for Timothy McVeigh's bombing of the federal building in Oklahoma City and many other acts of terror. After Pierce died unexpectedly in 2002, the group suffered several splits and ultimately lost most of its members. So this is their leader, Sean Walker, and this is their insignia. Next up, we got the Political Cesspool, which I've talked about in the past on this channel. The Political Cesspool is a weekly far-right talk radio show founded by Tennessean political activist James Edwards and syndicated by the organizations Liberty News Radio Network and Accent Radio Network in the United States. First broadcast in October 2004, twice a week from radio station WMQM. Per Edwards, it has been simulcast on Stormfront Radio, a service of the white nationalist Stormfront website, and as of 2011 is broadcast on Saturday nights on WLRM, a blues and southern soul radio station in Millington, Tennessee. Its sponsors include the White Separatist Council of Conservative Citizens and the Institute for Historical Review, a Holocaust denial group. I hate to see that our fucking airwaves are being clogged up by dipshit idiots like this guy and his stupid big brain takes. So this is their leader, James fucking Edwards, and that's their insignia of the aptly named political cesspool. Next up, we have an infamous group, the fucking Proud Boys. Established in the midst of the 2016 presidential election by Vice Media co-founder Gavin McInnes, the Proud Boys are self-described Western chauvinists who adamantly deny any connection to the racist alt-right. Sure. Insisting that they are simply a fraternal group spreading an anti-political correctness and anti-white guilt agenda. Do they really expect us to buy that shit? Proud Boys have appeared alongside other hate groups at extremist gatherings like Unite the Right. Indeed, former Proud Boys member Jason Kessler helped organize the event, which brought together Klansmen, anti-Semites, Southern racists, and militias. Oh, but they're not racist. They're not racist at all. This is their leader and butt plug enthusiast Gavin McInnes. That's their insignia. It's a cock. Next up, we got Sacred Truth Publishing and Ministries. These are Christian fascists. Founded by Robert Allen Balasius in 1990, based in Mountain City, Tennessee. This is a Christian extremist group which publishes anti-Semitic and white supremacist books, which are sold on Amazon, by the way. Thank you, Amazon. Send them boxes of animal shit at the P.O. box below. So this is their founder, Robert Balasius. That's their insignia. Next up, we got The Right Stuff, which I've talked about in the past on this channel. The Right Stuff is a white supremacist neo-fascist blog and podcast founded by Mike Enoch that hosts several podcasts, including The Daily Shoah, also called TDS. The blog is best known for popularizing the use of echoes, an anti-Semitic marker which uses triple parentheses around names to identify Jews on social media. It is part of the broader alt-right movement in the United States, based in Memphis, Tennessee. This is the founder, Mike Enoch Painovich. Once again, if I see this guy, I'm gonna fucking try to piss on him or something. This is their logo. Next up, last but certainly not least, we have the Wolves of Vinland. The Wolves of Vinland. I'm sorry, it's just fucking cringy that all these guys like fancy themselves fucking Vikings, and they're just a bunch of fucking chuds, man. But anyway, let's keep going. The Wolves of Vinland is a Norse neo-pagan group based on the outskirts of Lynchburg, Virginia. One of the group's founders, Matthias Wagner, has described the group as an Odinic wolf cult. Nerds. While journalists associate the group with white supremacists and the alt-right. In 2018, the Southern Poverty Law Center added the Wolves of Vinland to its list of hate groups, describing it as a neo-Volkish hate group. One member of the group, Maurice Wh1te Michele, served 2 years in prison after being found guilty of attempted church arson against the Mount Pleasant Baptist Church, a historic black church in Gainesville, Virginia. So this is their founder, Matthias Wagner, aka Jarnefir. Pretty fucking cool Viking name, dude. It's too bad that you were born in fucking, I don't know, fucking Lynchburg, Virginia. You're about as much a Viking as I am. This is their insignia on their jackets. Alright, so thank you all for watching this with me, sticking with me through this. Took me a long time to type all that shit out. I wish I could get all the time back it took me to look up all these groups, because it's very disturbing. But I feel like videos like this need to be made, because people need to be aware of all of the groups that are active in Tennessee. Most of these groups are also active in every other state. They're active in other countries as well. So I mean, all of these groups are just horrible, horrible people that deserve to be called out, exposed, doxxed, you name it. So with all that said, thank you so much for watching through this long ass video, this long ass overview of white supremacist groups, and I will see you next time.